How's it going, everyone? Want to go over a lot in this video, a lot circulating about a potential PlayStation title potentially being revealed. I mean, we all know it's in development, but there was a Twitter post, and I'll leave it in the description box below, that rounds out a lot of information that does go over it, and we'll talk all about that. I want to give you guys a heads up on Fate Samurai Remnant getting some DLC reveal. Now, this is a game that I haven't talked too much about on this channel, but it's one that I am currently playing more of. I played it when it initially came out. I played quite a bit of it, but now I've gone back to it, and it's one of the sleeper great games of 2023. I'm not a big fan of Fate by any stretch of the imagination. I watched a couple of the anime series, one of the anime series, and like a couple episodes of another, but nonetheless, want to talk about it. It's one of those JRPGs, action JRPGs that you guys may have missed out on, and R-Type Tactics 1 and 2, the combo pack, gets a release date. We'll talk that at the end of this video. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. But as noted by Caracassus on Twitter, sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, they put out a tweet noting everything I have found out about the Horizon MMORPG to be precise. The game is now essentially confirmed to be in development, as an NCSoft employee posted a job listing on LinkedIn with a codename logo stylized similarly to the logo of the Horizon game. It's developed under the codename Project Skyline, with the initial codename being Project H. It's noted PC and mobile. I would find it very, very hard to believe that the game wouldn't ultimately come to PlayStation as well. Like, Horizon is an IP that Horizon Zero Dawn's done well on Steam and PC, and I'm sure Forbidden West is going to do well, but limiting it to just PC and mobile, I don't think that's the right play. I think you want to ultimately get the game on PlayStation as well. The fact that PC and mobile is listed leads me to believe that it would be a free-to-play game with maybe some sort of monthly subscription, or obviously some sort of microtransaction component attached to it. I think it would be a free-to-play title that they tried to monetize with a bunch of microtransactions. Maybe it would have a monthly subscription that adds optional content, or, you know, I'm not big into MMOs, but that's generally how they do it in terms of offering content. I believe ESO does it that way, where there is a monthly subscription service, but you can play the game as is, and I think ESO is still buy-to-play, but you get the idea. It could be buy-to-play, it could be free-to-play, it could be a variety of different things, but PC and mobile being listed, the fact it's on mobile makes me believe that it'll be a free-to-play title, and the fact it is on mobile, that is a little bit of a cause for concern. Maybe it'll be, you know, a scaled-down version on mobile. We'll see. We'll see how this turns out with these live service projects coming from PlayStation. I'm always a little bit skeptical as how much of a train wreck it's kind of been recently. It's expected to launch significantly later than Aeon 2, which is anticipated to be released in 2024/2025, so I wouldn't expect this for a while. And with that being said, while I can confidently say it's in development, I can't say that it'll actually ever come out. Last of Us Factions, we could all confidently say it was in development, and they probably poured an absurd amount of resources onto it, but it still ultimately did not come to fruition, or whatever the deal is with that. If it's going to get baked into Last of Us Part 3, if it's outright canceled, we don't know, but we know that there was a lot of trouble in paradise when it came to these live service projects, and I don't know what Sony's game plan is going to be going forward. You have a change of management. Maybe they'll change what they decide to do. All of this is super in flux. We know that they've been invested into these live service projects, and I'm confident in saying that because they've outright said it, but you also look at the 2024 slate of games coming out. Why are there all these third-party deals being made? Well, that's because a lot of first-party has been invested into creating these live service projects, and I am not even sure if we are going to get a big AAA first-party single-player game release. There isn't one scheduled for 2024, if I am looking at it correctly. Like, you've got Rise of Ronin, which is a third-party exclusive, FF7 Rebirth, which is a third-party timed exclusive, Stellar Blade, which is a third-party exclusive as well. As far as first-party, they are working on games. A lot of them have been working on various projects as well, and I'm also not counting Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, of course. But nonetheless, they are obviously committed to live service. It's just I don't know what is going to be the extent of the realization of their initial game plan. That still remains to be seen, and honestly, it doesn't look all too positive based on what we know thus far. The project is developed in Sunggu Lee's Lineage IP division and is led by Hong Young Choi, who previously was head of Lineage W development. The project started around 2021, according to a former NCSoft employee's resumes on LinkedIn and Facebook. Around 140 people worked on the project in September of 2023. There's a very significant number comparable to other more advanced and already announced projects such as Lineage M and Lineage W. And as noted, as I've previously reported, NCSoft registered a domain for what appears to be a game titled Land of Salvation. Land of Salvation could potentially be an official title for the Horizon MMO. The idea of Land of Salvation makes a lot of sense for a Horizon MMO, but that is probably tentative. This assumption is based on the fact that it is the only unannounced game we know of that could be revealed soon. Of course, it could be some other project we're not aware of. All of the information is in the description box below, and it's a roundup that's very, very well done. I'm just curious to see how this ultimately does turn out, and if it sees the light of day. Again, when it comes to live service and PlayStation, I am exceedingly skeptical across the board if these titles are going to come out, what is going to be the sustainability level of it. I imagine that we all know why Sony got into it. The higher-ups obviously saw this as a very lucrative business model, because you look at the first-party games that they do put out, a Last of Us Part 2, a Marvel Spider-Man 2, a Ghost of Tsushima. These games are incredibly, incredibly expensive to develop for and create, and they're still gonna do it. But when you're talking about spending $250 million on a game, there are only so many sales of that game that you could do. That's why they are creating different monetization revenue streams for these games, even for their single-player games, like a PC release, like throwing the game into a subscription service, like creating standalone expansions or DLC content. This is something they're doing so they can monetize the same game for a lengthier period of time. Totally down with it, and I think it's a great idea, and I'm all for it. But at the same time, they're probably looking at this live service gravy train, and they want to invest a lot into that. It's just, you guys already know my opinions on live service games and multiplayer emphasis games and microtransaction heavy games. Yeah, there's gonna be people that are super into some of those games. I have a buddy that's super into Destiny 2 and spends money like a fiend on it, and people with disposable income, you can get a lot of money on them for a longer period of time. Like, the people that are super into Destiny 2, they've spent way more than $60, way more than that over the course of Destiny 2's lifetime, most likely. I mean, I don't want to put out a blanket statement, and obviously Destiny 2 started off as a buy-to-play game, but now it's a free-to-play game. You get the idea, and it's the same thing with a lot of other titles. Obviously, there is a reoccurring investment that's required as well. It's not like you just throw out the Horizon MMO and it's self-sustained and you don't have to spend any more money after the development is done. That's not the case, but you get the idea that it's not like you have to continually invest $250 million, and there's not only that one initial wave of sales and then things taper off. You hope to make a lot of money over a lengthy period of time. We all know that this could potentially be lucrative. I just think this idea of throwing so many games at the wall and hoping one or two of them stick, which so many publishers have done. Let's not put it as just Sony's done this. So many publishers have done this, and you know, they've had varied success. And I think from a Sony standpoint, I just don't know if it's going to be ideal. I might look like a fool in 5 to 7 years when they have, you know, whatever this game is, Horizon MMO, and if it's Land of Salvation, whatever it's called, and it's uber successful, and they're making money hand over fist, and when it's one of the most popular MMOs, or the most popular MMO on the market, yeah, I'll be eating crow at that point. But I think you guys are with me in being exceedingly skeptical when it comes to this kind of stuff. But we'll see how that turns out. It's still a ways away, and ultimately, I have to remain skeptical, as I think you should, that the game will even ever come out. Moving on from that, I do want to give you guys a couple of other updates on smaller titles. Fate Samurai Remnant gets its DLC revealed, Records Fragment. It will launch in February of 2024. Now, I want to talk about this because Fate Samurai Remnant is actually a game I've been putting more time into recently, and I'm not a huge Fate fan, and I watched Fate Stay Night when I was like way younger, but I've heard like that's a very, very poor adaptation of the Stay Night story, and I know Unlimited Blade Works is out as well, and people say that's great, but this one set in this Edo period of Japan, I was super interested in it from a setting standpoint, and it's a pretty enjoyable Musou-style game. I probably wouldn't be dropping $60 on it, but man, if you're into anime aesthetics and action RPGs, I think you'll end up enjoying this game quite a bit. Pretty good soundtrack, Japanese voice acting only, but it's pretty good, and the interactions between the two main characters, I find them to be a pretty good tandem. Like, you always, in a game like this, you want a quality tandem at the helm of the story, and I feel like you get that with this game. I'm not saying it's absolute blow away, but these days, you could probably find it on sale for like 40 bucks, and I think at that price point, point, it might be good. The thing is, Tecmo Koei games do generally hold up in price, and if you're not into the Musou-style games of, like, heavy action and a lot of enemies on screen, it probably won't be your cup of tea, but I am enjoying it quite a bit. Hoping to finish it up here shortly, but I'm having a good time with that, and more DLC is coming, and the Season Pass is $39.99, which is quite hefty, but it also does know 2 additional downloadable content episodes will follow in 24, so be on the lookout for those as well, and check out the game. It's one of those sleepers of 23 that I think some of you guys will enjoy. And lastly, do want to note that in the fall of this year, we'll have the launch of R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos. This combines the side-scrolling shoot-'em-up action the series is known for with tactical turn-based strategy gameplay for a one-of-a-kind R-Type experience remade in Unreal Engine 5. This 2-game collection blasts its way onto Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC, with R-Type Tactics 2 also making its debut in the West for the first time. With the debut of R-Type Tactics 2 in the West, both titles make their way from the PSP to modern consoles for the first time, and an Unreal makeover as well. Again, that'll be out in the fall of this year. But that will be doing it for me. Again, a lot of rambling on the Horizon MMO. It's just whenever we talk about these live service games, multiplayer titles, I have to remain a little bit skeptical. I want it to turn out well because I think the idea, best case scenario of a Horizon MMO sounds incredibly compelling. Like, it would be something I 100% play. It's just, I know there's a lengthy development period and so much turmoil attached to games like this that it's hard to get a little bit excited at this point, but fingers crossed it turns out well. Fate Samurai Remnant will be getting some DLC in February, so be on the lookout for that, and R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos launches in fall of 24. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.